ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुः। श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथावितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादां सहगणललिता श्रीशाकवितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिकाकांत राधाकांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुस्ते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरु महाराज की जय, श्री भक्तवृंद की जय। So this is the second day and we will be starting with a second chance. This Srila Prabhupada spoke about the story of Ajamila and a very long purpose. Srila Prabhupada has given very great explanation and elaboration on this. So we'll be starting from the introduction part. Yes. So Srila Prabhupada starts in the introduction only. He directly starts from that Ajamila. He directly starts from the story of Ajamila, that he was laying on the deathbed, and I can start reading the introduction part only. As the sinful Ajamila lay on his deathbed, he was terrified to see three fierce human-like creatures coming to drag him out of his dying body and take him away to the abode of Yamraj, the Lord of Death, for punishment. Surprisingly, Ajamila escaped this terrible fate. How? We will find out in the pages of A Second Chance, the story of near-death experience. So we have very much we have seen, and it is very common also, that people talking about reincarnation and near-death experience, OBs, NDs. Yes, so in the introduction part, because I have read all this introduction part, so the publishers of this book are writing that and they जो भी है पब्लिशर्स वो बहुत सारे बात कर रहे हैं कि मतलब पूरा इंट्रोडक्शन पार्ट इस पे ही है कि हाउ it is possible that a soul is leaving the body and he is seeing himself, his body lying there after. So I also heard many of these cases that many daughters who have reincarnated, they have remembered their past lives. So like this we will continue the story, the reading of this book. So from the introduction part, we will also learn many vital truths about fundamental nature of the self and reality, so you can better prepare yourself for your own inevitable encounters with death and dying. So death is inevitable, but we don't understand this. This is the most important thing we have to remember. Every second I am prone to death, and death can knock our doors at any time, any second, any moment of our life. Death can knock our doors and take us away as our एज द हमारा जो भी उस वक्त हमारा जो भी चिंतन चल रहा होगा उस प्रकार का शरीर हमको प्राप्त होगा. और शरीर से पहले हमको नर्क स्वर्ग भुगतना पड़ेगा, वो अलग बात है. सो दिस इज द थिंग that death is inevitable, and death is like an exam. We can say that we are preparing for an exam. जो स्कूल में होता है ना कि स्कूल में हम देखते हैं कि सरप्राइज टेस्ट आ जाता है तो हमको बहुत ही दुख महसूस होता है कि अरे कुछ पढ़ाई नहीं किया, सरप्राइज टेस्ट क्या करेंगे, क्या लिखेंगे, अरे ये तो सबसे बड़ा टेस्ट है सरप्राइज टेस्ट, हमको पता है ही नहीं कि व्हाट इज देयर. चलो हाँ, बाय द मर्सी ऑफ द लॉर्ड आई हैव, अच्छा मैंने इसके ऊपर थोड़ा सा रियलाइजेशन है, एंड वी हैव, यू विल बी ऑल्सो डिलाइटेड that after hearing this. So let us consider two exams which are material exams and spiritual exams. The material exams, चलो अभी मैं 12th स्टैंडर्ड में, 12th बोर्ड्स, तो मैं इसको ज़्यादा अच्छी तरह से एक्सप्रेशन कर सकता हूँ. और द स्पिरिचुअल एग्जाम विच कैन बी कंसिडर एज डेथ एज एन एग्जाम. चलो वी विल कंसिडर द फर्स्ट थिंग विच इज़ आवर स्पिरिचुअल एग्जाम्स. स्पिरिचुअल एग्जाम्स, चलो पहले हम मटेरियल एग्जाम्स को एक बार इलेबोरेशन के साथ हम देखते हैं कि चलो मटेरियल एग्जाम्स में क्या होता है. आपको, आप पढ़ाई करो, आप पूरा साल आप मेहनत करोगे, पर समझो आपको लास्ट टाइम में आपको कुछ हो गया, समझो आपको डेंगू हो गया, कोलेरा हो गया, या कोई ऐसा क्रॉनिक बीमारी हो गई, आपको एग्ज़ाम देने को नहीं पड़ा. भले आपने एग्ज़ाम से पहले अपना 8 घंटा, 10 घंटा, 12 घंटा, 20 घंटा, 24 घंटा आपने पढ़ाई कर लिया, पर लास्ट में आप एग्ज़ाम देने नहीं आए, आप फेल हो जाओगे, फेल, टोटली फेल्ड. So this is the hypocrisy of the exam. Your whole years preparation you have to vomit out in 3 hours, and those 3 hours में आपको कुछ भी हो जाए वो आपकी गलती है, हमारी कोई गलती नहीं है, आप एग्जाम दे देंगे, आप फेल. So this is the thing that the material exams they see the at the time एग्जाम के वक्त वो क्या कर रहा है वो, and if he is present then they will grade him evaluation, grade evaluation होगा और वो पास होगा नहीं पास होगा या टॉप करेगा या बिलो रैंकर होगा वो आफ्टर ही गिव्स एग्जाम. बट ही इफ ही डजंट गिव एग्जाम ही इज फेल्ड ऑटोमेटिकली. देर इज सेकेंड चांस यू कैन गिव, मतलब बाद में जो भी कहते हैं जो सेकेंड टाइम्स वो लेते हैं जो फेलियर्स के लिए क्या शब्द इस्तेमाल कर रहा हूँ मैं, जो भी फेल हो जाते हैं उनके लिए हम वो बोर्ड वाले दूसरा एग्ज़ाम कंडक्ट करते हैं सेकेंड चांस के लिए. तो ही विल अपीयर इन दिस, फिर उसका इवेल्यूएशन होगा, पर उसको बीमार हो गया होगा तो मान पास हो जाएगा, भले उसने 24 घंटे पढ़ाई किया हो पूरा साल, ये तो हेड इंजरी आ गया तो सो इट इज़ गॉन if you don't appear for the test during the material exams. Let us consider the spiritual exams now. The spiritual exam death. कृष्णा से जो भी मैंने सीनियर ड्यूटीज से जो भी मैं श्रवण किया है उससे मैं आपको एक्सप्लेन करना चाहता हूँ दैट कभी कभी एक क्वेश्चन आ सकता है हमको कि अभी हमने पूरा जीवन भक्ति किया, फिर लास्ट में हमको भगवान का स्मरण नहीं हुआ. अभी कहते बहुत सारे आचार्य, मतलब एक आचार्य थे जो इसको एक्सप्लेन कर रहे थे कि जब हमारा शरीर हम मृत्यु के बेड पे होंगे तब कफ निकल रहा होगा, पूरा शरीर में पीड़ा होगा, कष्ट होगा, इट सब कुछ every situation, every damn situation during death would be against our remembrance of Krishna in the hospital. Very very bad situation, सबसे बुरा situation होगा ये. तो उस समय पे हमने पूरा जीवन जो भक्ति किया तो हम कैसे भगवान को स्मरण कर पाएंगे. तो वराह पुराण में मुझे एग्जैक्ट श्लोक नहीं पता, आप मैंने श्रीमान अमरेंद्र प्रभु और मुखिया प्रभु से श्रवण किया है. सो वराह पुराण में भगवान गरुड़ जी को, शायद मैं जितना मुझे स्मरण है, गरुड़ जी को ये बताते हैं कि even if a devotee at his death time he is not able to remember me, I will remember him and I will take him back home, back to Godhead. So here in the material exams where preparation is not considered anything. अगर आप लास्ट एग्जाम में समझ लो आप पढ़े भी नहीं पर आपको वो कहाँ से पेपर भी मिल गया आपको कि कहाँ से आपने चोरी कर लिया पेपर और आपके फुल मार्क्स, तो किसी को पता नहीं चलेगा, आप टॉपर हो जाओगे. बट दैट इज नॉट इन द स्पिरिचुअल लाइफ केस. Your preparation in the spiritual life, your preparation is the topmost priority. That if your preparation is perfect, your spiritual life, your devotional life is perfect, in the shelter of Guru Maharaj, in the shelter of Srila Prabhupada, in the shelter of all the devotees, if your spiritual life is perfect, then Krishna will ensure that you will go back home, back to Godhead. So that is the thing. Krishna is so merciful. He sees our preparation, not the end life. end में क्या होगा और तब स्मरण किया नहीं किया तो मर जाओ करके, ऐसा नहीं. कृष्णा सीज आवर प्रिपरेशन एवरी सेकेंड इज विद अस. हम जो भी कार्य कर रहे हो वो बोलते हैं ना कि हम दैट वाज अ स्टोरी दैट गुरु एंड हिज डिसाइपल्स वर देयर. द डिसाइपल्स द गुरु गिव द डिसाइपल्स सम अ मैंगो. ये भी मैंने श्रवण ही किया है, a mango, and he instructed his disciples that you go and eat this mango in a very secluded place where no one can see you. So all the disciples were gone. Some went to the top of the mountain, some went very secluded place like forest, and they ate the mango. But there was one disciple who didn't eat the mango. So at evening when the class ended, when the experiment ended, then Guru asked everyone that where did you, one by one, that where did you eat mango. Someone would say in the forest, someone would say I have eaten in the top of the mountain. But there was one disciple who didn't eat the mango. Then Guru asked him that why didn't you eat the mango. Then he explained that there is not even a single moment where the agents of the Lord are not keeping a sight on us. That the air, Vayu, the sun outside the sun outside the window, the air, the bhumi, every second there in the shastra they are explained that 9 of the agents are constantly keeping an eye on us, and one of them is Chitragupta. So for the devotees it is the Lord himself who is keeping an eye on us. So every devotional act the Krishna sees, and also every our negligence in devotional life कि अभी कोई नहीं है, कोई देखने वाला नहीं है, चलो भोग कर लेते हैं, चलो पोर्नोग्राफी देख लेते हैं, चलो ये देख लेते हैं, कौन किसको क्या पता चलेगा करके. दैट एक्ट इज ऑल्सो सीन बाय राधा रानी, कृष्णा, गुरु महाराज, शिला प्रभुपाद, एंड पंचतत्व, नरसिम्हा देव जो मेरे ऑल्टर में जितने भी डीटीज है, कृष्ण बलराम, गुरु परंपरा सब कीपिंग एन आई दैट कैसे भोग कर रहा है करके देखने के लिए. सो दैट्स द थिंग. भोग करते वक्त भगवान देखते हैं कि और भगवान थोड़े से अप्रसन्न भी हो जाते हैं कि कोई बात नहीं करके. एंड ड्यूरिंग योर स्पिरिचुअल हाइटनेस, योर एक्सटेसी, then also Lord sees that yes, he is doing my service and Lord gets pleased. So if we compare material and spiritual exams, material exams is your end results and it does not consider your preparation, but spiritual exams, the death exam, is considered by your preparation you have done in your whole life. So जितना जल्दी हमको पता चलेगा कि हमको ये डेथ वाली एग्ज़ाम देनी है करके, हम सबको पता है, बट हम वो रैबिट एंड लायन वाला स्टोरी आता है कि जब भी उसके सामने कोई भी थ्रेट आता है रैबिट के सामने तो आँख बंद कर देता है, तो उससे वो प्रॉब्लम चले नहीं जाने वाला है. इट विल अपीयर एंड इट विल ईट हिम. सो हम आँख बंद करे हुए कि डेथ वो मर रहा है पर मैं नहीं मरूंगा. इट्स लाइक द गोट फिलोसॉफी कि गोट को बेचारे को चराने के लिए मतलब द गोट हैज़ बीन ब्रॉट इनटू अ शेड where it is hitting grass, but he is seeing also that his all friends are going for the slaughter, and so it is like a goat philosophy that the goat is eating grass peacefully, but he is also seeing his friends that it is they are going for slaughter, but the goat is peaceful that but मेरे साथ नहीं होगा, वो मेरा मालिक है, वो मेरे को अच्छी तरह से रखेगा, but no, it is also going to be slaughtered once. So we are being in goat philosophy, rabbit philosophy. सो ये बात है. वी हैव टू कंसिडर दिस डेथ एज एन एग्जाम. और जब भी जितनी भी जल्दी हमको पता चलेगा उतना ही अच्छा रहेगा. जैसे कि बाय द मर्सी ऑफ ऑल द डिवोटीज एंड माय शिक्षा गुरु द काउंसलर्स एंड श्री श्री राधा गिरधरी, आई हैव गॉट दिस अपॉर्चुनिटी एट द एज ऑफ वेरी लिटिल एज ऑफ 14. सो बाय द मर्सी ऑफ देम अच्छी तरह से मुझे पता चलेगा, मुझे जल्दी मिल गया ये सौभाग्य, बोल सकते सौभाग्यवती वह. सो यहाँ पे प्रचार का भी महत्व आता है कि वी आर सीइंग सो मेनी पीपल वेस्टिंग देयर लाइफ इनटू नथिंग. दे आर डूइंग एवरीथिंग विच विल रिजल्ट इनटू नथिंग. दे हैव टू कंटिन्यू अगेन विद द सेम थिंग, टेकिंग बर्थ, अगेन ओल्ड एज, अगेन डिसीज, अगेन डेथ, फिर अगेन बर्थ इनटू लोअर स्पीसीज, इनटू हायर स्पीसीज, हु ओनली लॉर्ड नोस. सो हम यहाँ पे प्रचार का भी महत्व आता है कि प्रचार का कितना महत्व है कि हम अगर आपने एक भी जीव को हरे कृष्णा करना आपने सिखा दिया उसको, देन योर लाइफ विल बी सक्सेसफुल. राधा गिरधरी विल बी वेरी वेरी प्लीज्ड विथ यू. सो इट इज सो श्रील प्रभुपाद कंसिडर द इस्कॉन मूवमेंट एज द प्रीचिंग मूवमेंट. वी आर सिटिंग ऑन एट आवर होम्स एंड doing our sadhana. It is still okay, but the ISKCON is just preaching movement. We have to preach. Even there is 16 rounds. We have to chant 16 rounds, 2 hours and 22 hours we have to preach. Srila Prabhupada's desire, inner desire, I can say, it is this, that we have to preach and convert the whole world into Vaishnavism, into the devotees of the Lord. आप ही सोचो कि that right now there are 5 devotees, and these 5 devotees preach to other 5 devotees. So 5 is 25 devotees then now accumulate, and these 25 devotees again preach to 5 other devotees. So 25, 5 is 125. So how much will the Lord please that his own devotee expansion is going on? So for really pleasing the Lord, we have to preach the message of Srila Prabhupada, the message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the Shastra. We can do book distribution. We can have such videos like I am making some by the mercy of my Shiksha Guru. So that was the thing. So we can continue now ahead. Even today, people momentarily on the verge of death report encounters like Ajamil's, lending credibility to the idea that there is life after death. So there are still many people that don't consider कि अभी जो जीवन है वही है, बाद में पता नहीं. So there is really life after death. I also not, but I'm just transferring the message that Srila Prabhupada and my Guru has transferred to me, that there is life after death. It is like we are right now, we have no realization. We can say we have no realization. We are just in a tunnel where the pure devotees have reached their destination, but we are in the midway. We cannot, because we have left the material life, we cannot see behind any light, and because we have not seen the spiritual life, there is no light ahead. So we are going in a blind tunnel, which is called a spiritual life. Really, it can be compared to a blind tunnel, but the one who shows us the path of light are the pure devotees who have reached the destination, which is Sri Golok Dham, the abode of Sri Sri Radha Girdhari. They are encouraging us, no, there is light ahead, there is light, there is Sri Golok Dham, waiting for us. That's with that motivation that the pure devotees have reached their path, their goal. So we are at their footsteps. We are also following at their footsteps to our goal of life, which is Golok Dham, which is Radha Giridhari's eternal service, 24/7, 365, millions of years, millions, trillions. It can be considered as infinity. So it is the thing. There is life after death and death after life. But it is like a chakra, and we have to cut that chakra and go. It is like if you just वो क्या कहते हैं, फिजिक्स के वक्त हमको कभी कभी एक्सपेरिमेंट कराते हैं कि स्टोन के ऊपर पत्थर बांधा एंड नाउ कैलकुलेट इट सेंट्रीफ्यूगल सेंट्रीपेटल फोर्स. सो इफ यू कट द स्पिनिंग रॉक and if you cut the rope, the rock goes up, then falls down. But in spiritual life, we are in this chakra level, life, that old age disease, life, that old age, birth, that old age and disease. But when we cut this rope, then we are we are like a rocket which is launched into the spiritual realm. So so this is the thing we have to consider to come out of this birth, death and old age and disease, which is the bona fide path which is given by Srila Prabhupada to us. So if we continue ahead, in 1982, George Gallup Jr. published a book called Adventures in Immortality, which contained results of a survey on American beliefs about the afterlife, including near-death and out-of-body experiences. 67% of the people surveyed said that they believe in life after death, and 15% said they themselves had some kind of near-death experience. The people who reported a near-death experience were then asked to describe it. 9% reported an out-of-body sensation, and 80% felt that a special being or beings were present during the near-death experience. The Gallup survey is intriguing, but it leaves unanswered this basic question: is there any scientific evidence for near-death experience, particularly of the out-of-body type? Apparently, there is, from studies of people on the verge of death who, while supposedly unconscious, accurately report events relating to their physical body from a perspective outside it. Heart attack patients, accident victims, and soldiers wounded in battle have all reported such experiences. Dr. Michael Sabom, a cardiologist at the Emory University Medical School, undertook a scientific study of such reports. He interviewed 32 cardiac arrest patients who reported out-of-body experiences. So, heart attack means when the heart is blocked by ज़्यादा कोलेस्ट्रॉल बोलते हैं कि कोलेस्ट्रॉल हो गया इसको ज़्यादा. So that is really dangerous when cholesterol accumulates in the veins of heart and it is stopping blood to flow, then it is called heart attack. And cardiac arrest means their heart is suddenly stopped pumping the blood. So there are many reasons for it, but I have said in small जो छोटे बात में ख़त्म करना बोल सकते हैं इसको. So that it is a difference between heart attack and cardiac arrest. During a cardiac arrest, the heart stops pumping blood to the brain, and so a patient should be totally unconscious. Yet 26 of the 32 patients reporting out-of-body experiences during cardiac arrest were able to give fairly accurate visual accounts on their resuscitation, and the remaining 6 gave extremely accurate accounts of the specific resuscitation techniques, matching confidential hospital records of their operations. The results of Sabom's study, detailed in the book Recollections of Death, a Medical Investigation, 1982, convinced him of the reality of out-of-body experiences. He concluded that the mind was an entity distinct from the brain, and the near-death crisis caused the mind and brain to split apart for a brief time. So, the subtle body and the soul and Paramatma, super soul, all resides at our heart. The subtle body, mind, ego, and intelligence it is made up of, and the soul and super soul resides at our heart, in our heart. So there are 5, we can say, entities here in our heart. So the brain is just an organ which is made up of material elements, but the 5 out-of-body elements which travel with us to the second body after death are residing in our heart. So I also remember an incident during my 10th standard where I recently joined a new coaching class. Well, some Mataji was there, and she was very. Right now I'm 12th standard, so it's 2 years ago, we can say. So that Mataji was very I was going with a tilaka, very broad and very dark, and जो दिख जाए सबको ऐसा तिलक लगा के जाता था in कंठी माला. So one Mataji was very fascinated with seeing this look. So once she asked me that what is the difference between mind and brain. So I was explaining her that mind is a part of subtle body and brain is a part of this gross body. We are different from this gross body and everything. But I knew after seeing her facial expressions that it is just going out of her brain. So after death, so I remember also that I also gave a book which is very beautiful book, by the way, which is Beyond Birth, and it is authored by our Grand Guru Maharaj Srila Prabhupada. So I remember also giving him that book, and that was the last interaction between us. And then right now, then the 10th passed, then 11th year also passed, and right now I'm 12th verge of then I will be going to colleges. So I also remember that thing. People don't know what is the difference between mind and brain because they consider themselves sometimes the mind, or the mind is the brain. So, but spiritual scriptures explain what is the difference between mind and brain in real. So we can go ahead. Sebom wrote, could the mind which splits apart from the physical brain be in essence the soul, which continues to exist after the final bodily death? According to some religious doctrines, as I see it, this is the ultimate question that has been raised by reports of the ND. So, yes, the thing is, it is not the perfect explanation which can be given for a soul and mind and body. क्योंकि हम देखते हैं कि there are two types of gaining knowledge. तो Srila Prabhupada has explained this elaborately in many of his small books also. We have to read the small books so we can understand the tattva Srila Prabhupada has given to us. That there are two types of gaining knowledge, which is ascending order and which is descending order. The human being is always, the human being has 4 defects, we can say, and it is as explained by Srila Prabhupada in his small books and various other literatures, that the human being is always prone to commit mistakes. He is prone to cheat others. He is prone to, because a human being has incomplete senses, and the fourth I have to remember, prone to commit mistakes, cheat others, and he has incomplete senses. And the fourth is that to be illusioned by Maya. So with these 4 defects, we cannot follow the path of ascending order of gaining knowledge. So by doing various experiments, the scientists are trying to find new things. So by this process, the old things which they have discovered are getting false again and again. So this path is the worst way to gain knowledge. This is here the Sebom study, बोल सकते हैं आप, recollections of death. So वो भी यही बोल रहा है कि हम mind है, but no, that knowledge is wrong. But because we are on the descending path, which we are accepting the knowledge which is coming from the perfect, the whole truth, the real truth. So we are getting the knowledge as it is because we have Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jaya. So this is the thing. The descending process of gaining knowledge is the perfect way to accept knowledge, because we know that the soul is also different from mind, and we are not mind. We are not this body. We are the spirit soul. So this is the thing. We can continue. The true dimensions of that ultimate question are thoroughly explored in a second chance by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai, the founding spiritual master, Acharya of the International Society for Kṛṣna Consciousness. Thousands of years ago in India, the history concerning Ajamil and his near-death experience, the English word of Ajamil's story, near-death experience, was related by the great spiritual master Shukdev Goswami to his disciple King Parikshit. Their conversation is recorded in the 6th canto of the Sanskrit classic Srimad Bhagavatam, renowned as the ripened fruit of the tree of India's timeless Vedic literature. So, I was reading this story of King Parikshit Maharaj. Why his name was Parikshit? Why only Parikshit? So, we all know the story that in Mahabharata, that Ashwathama tried to kill Parikshit Maharaj in the womb of Uttara, who is the wife of Abhimanyu, and Abhimanyu is the son of Arjuna. So the Parikshit Maharaj is Pautra, grandchild of Arjuna, we can say. So after taking Brahmastra to kill Arjuna, Vedyas came in between, and he, जितना भी मुझे पता है, he try to stop the both parties who have weapon of destruction in their hands, Brahmastra. Both are Arjuna here in this side, and here Ashwathama were had their Brahmastra invoked. But a sage came. I don't know if he's Vedvas or not. But a sage came and he stopped everyone. He tried to stop both the parties to take out their Brahmastra. After his instruction, Arjuna take off his Brahmastra again, that because the sage is saying. But from Dronacharya, Ashwathama forgot to learn how to take back the Brahmastra. So that's why Ashwathama changed the direction of the Brahmastra to Uttara's womb, where Parikshit Maharaj was there to kill the last descendant of 5 Pandavas. So he tried to kill, he gave the instruction to the Brahmastra to kill the child in the womb of Uttara. But Lord Hare, Lord Kṛṣṇa, they are present. He is present there also, and he appeared in the womb of Uttara to protect King Parikshit Maharaj in the womb. So at that time, when the Lord was present in the womb of Uttara, Parikshit Maharaj saw that beautiful four-headed form of the Lord protecting him. So he folded his hands. But after coming out of the womb, his name was Parikshit, because his name was kept Parikshit. Why? Because he was seeing everyone. Parikshit means what? To examine someone. To examine. He always used to examine everyone. He saw that, is he the person I saw in the womb of my mother? No. Is he? No. So he always examined everyone. So his name was kept Parikshit. So that Parikshit Maharaj who saw Kṛṣṇa, who saw Lord Vishnu in the womb of his mother. So he is Parikshit Maharaj. In 1975-76, in the course of translating the Srimad Bhagavatam into English, Srila Prabhupada translated the story of Ajamil, and as with the rest of the work, in addition to the text, he provided an illuminating commentary on each verse. But this wasn't the first time Srila Prabhupada had explained the story of Ajamil. During the winter of 1970-71, Srila Prabhupada was traveling with some of his Western disciples in India. They had heard him speak about Ajamil several times, and at their request, he now gave a systematic series of lectures on the Ajamil story. So here we can understand that Srila Prabhupada was requested by the Western disciples in India. So that's why it is the story, the book, A Second Chance, is just the collection of Srila Prabhupada's lectures on a story of Ajamila. And it is beautifully structured, and Srila Prabhupada gave us this knowledge, a second chance, by his lectures. So we can read this. It is a very beautiful book, A Second Chance, the story of a near-death experience again. Thus, A Second Chance consists of text from the 6th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, reproduced here in bold-face type, selections from Srila Prabhupada's commentary, and excerpts from transcriptions of his lectures during the 70-71 India tour. The history of Ajamila is dramatic, powerful, and engaging, and the sharp philosophical and metaphysical debates that punctuate the action as Ajamil confronts the messengers of death and finds deliverance are bound to excite the interest of those concerned with life's deepest questions. So in short, we can take the introduction part was over. We can consider the first chapter in the upcoming videos. So Ajamila, as we broke the fourth principle, the pillar of illicit sex life, not conducting it, but if we somehow or the other, because we have this thing, the illicit sex life is always present in our hands. In our two clicks, we can break our regulative principle. But we have to restrain it, because when one starts to engage in illicit sex life, Srila Prabhupada also mentioned in some of his purports that even wasting one's semen is also considered as illicit sex life, breaking of